See that puddle? That's not good. Nor is the sound of the dehumidifier, so let me turn that off. The water is flowing right now straight to the drain from my water heater, the hot water tank. This is the second or third I've replaced in this house, and compared to the first time I did it with my dad back when I was 15 or 16, sweating pipes with a torch, totally different process, modern technology, a bag of parts, impressive stuff. I'll show you this today on this installment of Tech Tip Tuesday. Here's the hot water tank. It is gas. You can tell because it has this little flue and it has a gas line running to it. Here's the gas valve where you can change the temperature, turn the thing on and off, keep the pilot light on. And down here, that is the inspection cover. And there's a secondary inspection cover down below. And here inside, you can see the flame. So you look deep down in there and you can see the flame as it heats up the water inside. Now because it's flowing, and you can tell that, oh yeah, it's definitely flowing. Leaked a couple of months ago, just a little bit, but I watched it for a couple of days and it sealed itself up. You probably shouldn't let it do that, but anyway. So you got to turn this thing off. Make sure that you crank this thing down to lower temperature onto vacation. And then just turn the whole thing off. Off. Now I'm going to turn off these shut-off valves. That shuts off the cold. This is the hot side. If you spring a leak down here, it's not a big deal. It's just going to run down the hill straight to the drain. But in lots of basements are finished. If this thing springs a leak, that can cause a lot of damage. Family's still awake, but I can do a lot of the work while they're still awake, as long as we don't need hot water. Here's a hot water tap. Nothing. Here's a cold water tap. Still full pressure. Cut off the cold water supply, but that doesn't change the pressure in the main system. So this is still main system. Cold water is still okay, but the hot water, which comes out, there's no hot water. Gas burns, electricity electrocutes, and water just really gets stuff wet. So these connections, I'm not super concerned about them. They can be taken off, and even if there's a big flood, there are other shutoffs elsewhere. But the gas line, that thing can't just be disconnected, because then you're spewing gas everywhere and you don't know what to do. So you have to find the shutoff valve, which in this case is up here, turn this shutoff valve completely off, and then you can disconnect the gas line. You're going to need like 3 tools for the whole job. One of them, an adjustable wrench. For the adjustable wrench, I'm going to take off that fitting and remove some fittings up here. Got a cutting tool. This is for cutting the copper piping. It's got a blade here. There's a little blade right in the middle. That is the actual cutter. It's a rolling blade. And you just clamp it down onto the pipe and just spin it. Clamp it and spin it. Clamp it a little bit more and spin it. Clamp it more and spin it. So it looks like that. Grab it where you want to. Don't be wasting lots of stuff. Just clamp and spin. Clamp it down a little bit more. Spin it. Exhaust. This is important. And yes, my basement ceiling is short, but I'm ridiculously tall. So that thing right there, that is the flue. And you have to make sure that there aren't any obstructions and that the exhaust can easily go through there. Make sure that there are no obstructions in this and maybe replace it if it's bad. Make sure when you put it all together that the exhaust can easily get out. Because if you can't, then you're going to have some problems because you got carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide and everything else backing up in your basement, and that's just bad. Because this tank is all full of water, like lots of pounds of it, 40 gallons, 8 or 9 pounds, that's 400 pounds approximately of extra water. This is the drain. You can unscrew that and just let the water run everywhere. A hose would be convenient, but in the absence of a hose, just fill up a bucket or 2. Yeah, that water's pretty nasty, isn't it? Well, this is drawing from the bottom, and that's where all the silt stays. So when your water comes in, it's not completely clean ever. After many, many years of it just pouring in and dropping the stuff off at the bottom, that's silt, it's corrosion, it's whatever else is in there, and that's what you see. The hot water is taken off the top, and there's a little bit of turbulence. It picks up some of that to take it with it, but mainly the water that is nasty stays at the bottom. Water's out, device is gone, cleaned up the base, ready to put the new one in place after I get it down the stairs. So far, this one's only a 2-tripper. The original hoses I bought were a little too short for the application, so to go back and buy new ones. Hopefully just 2 trips. Now I've got to cut this, put different valves in up top, cut this, put different valve in up there, and then connect everything. That's hot water. It's not hot anymore, but that's the hot water spigot. There's a whole bunch of water still left in the system, so I had to open up one upstairs to drain the water so it doesn't all come out on top of me when I open up the other valve down here. I want valves on the ceiling, not on the wall. So, cut this piece, clean it up with some sandpaper, deburred the edges so I can easily slide things on there. See that valve? Called a shark bite. You just push the tube into it. Perpendicular off, parallel is on. This turns off the cold to most of the house. Then I have to drain the cold water. This one's a compression coupling. See a little ring right there? So here's a little ring. Put that ring on, then slide the valve on, and pull this down and screw it on, and that's a compression fitting. Good, solid modern technology. No need for torches. Now this is slick. All you have to do with this little shark bite thing is take your cleaned pipe and just jam it in there. Okay, well, a plastic liner that isn't cooperating. Oh yeah, there it is. Jam it in there. Just jam it in. And then take this one and just push it in till it seats. Push it in till it seats, and hope it works. Now it's filling. Hot water's open. I think I'm all connected, except for the gas. Got to connect the gas. Turn everything on. I'm good. There it is. Cold is blue, orange is hot. Everything's all done. These are just push to fit fittings. Those are bolted on. There's fire here. Make sure you connect the exhaust, because otherwise you'll be breathing the exhaust fumes and sending those exhaust fumes out into your house. So it's all connected with the water. The gas line is connected. What you have to do down here is hold onto this thing and then hold onto that until it lights. The little blue light starts blinking. Blue light's blinking now, so I can change the temperature. Turn it on. You have flames to heat up the water. So we're good. Gas line properly connected there. Gas line turned on. Water lines properly connected and tightened. Valves open. Exhaust. That's what you need